So what are the main differences from suppliers that are available in Alibaba from suppliers that are not? Are they anyhow better? In this video, I'm gonna let you know. My name is Mar. I've been dealing with China for over 10 years. My team is there, based in like Shenzhen and Chongqing. Like we have warehouses there. We have a team and a daily basis working with overseas clients. We ship goods to all over the world from China with love to you. That's why the name of the channel and the company. So I have a trading company and I've studied in China and worked there for over 10 years. Here are my certificates. And in this video, I'm gonna share with you my experience regarding suppliers from Alibaba and suppliers from other places. So first of all, Alibaba, just to be clear on that, is a space, is like a third party acting as a bridge for suppliers to find clients overseas and for clients overseas to find suppliers. As it's a very convenient, just one place to find all kind of suppliers. It does have, some tools for you to be comfortable enough to be searching for suppliers there, and suppliers get to register there in order to be found. Like year by year or as time goes, there are more standards to be able to register in Alibaba, as many scams had happened in previous years. By the way, guys, it will be very interesting for the channel if you would like to share your stories on bad or good stories. Of course, good stories are not very, they're good, but there's not much of a wow. So if you have any kind of tragic story, just that you would like to share, check out down in the description box. I will leave my email for you guys to send it there, so I can just be able to share it in a future video and give my comments on that. So okay, because there were so many scams and things happening, Alibaba somehow day by day is like raising their standards for suppliers to be more qualified in order to avoid any unsatisfaction from the client side. Okay, so now that we are clear that Alibaba is just a third party and it's like the bridge, it's just a space, a virtual space, let's say it's just a space that China suppliers rent in order to be able to be there in the market and be found by clients like us overseas. So there's nothing like Alibaba is is just the best. Alibaba is like that because not all of the suppliers are in Alibaba, and Alibaba, as I said just now, is just a platform in order to reach more clients, in order to be exposed to clients, in order to just be there, have more chances, of course, to be able to position your products or your brand or your factory with overseas clients. Nonetheless, I have been also experiencing that whenever clients purchase from us like the service of like research and like they want the direct contact of a supplier, we end up sometimes finding China suppliers that are not registered in Alibaba, that are like great factories that have great prices compared to the ones in Alibaba, or the ones that are having mostly like my assistants call them Alibaba supplier and non-Alibaba supplier. So basically they are very good, like better margins. You can be able to have better profits because the prices are just cheaper overall. I'm not saying always, I'm not saying Alibaba suppliers are expensive, by no means I'm saying that, but hold on, I will explain why. So first of all, we have found that there are so many amazing like China non-Alibaba suppliers, non-registered, but the thing with them is like whenever I hand them into my clients, they have most of the times the most frequent problem is communication. They have this language barrier, and yes, if they're not in Alibaba, by obvious means, like the first reason is like these guys over here are big, huge factories that are just kind of operating and being the supplier of national clients around China, so they do not deal with foreign clients in the first place. So they do not have the need to have like English sales staff, like English speaking staff, as well as like the whole system of like being on WhatsApp, sending emails, quotation, and all this that is being implemented by the Alibaba suppliers. There are even courses and there are some trainings in China where you train your like staff to interact with like international clients. I myself was kind of giving a talk about it, like how do you guys sell to the Mexican market, to the Spanish speaking clients, how do we like to be approached, etc., like culturally and all that jazz. That was 2019. I gave a talk in Guangzhou in like Alibaba, some kind of headquarters. So therefore I'm telling you this because I'm very knowledgeable about it. So these suppliers over here, they are huge. They have like all the infrastructure and all, but they lack of them. I mean, it's not that they lack, but they don't choose to go international. They are just well positioned and very conscious about just selling to the like mainland China. Whoever wants to purchase from them, they will be able to supply. And some of their clients can be either trading companies that are selling to us international, and also like other companies that are just being part of the Chinese business chain. So what is the difference? Yes, maybe they have cheaper prices, but it's very hard to communicate with them as they are not trained to negotiate with foreigners. They are not having like the means to communicate with you as per like the others through WhatsApp, speak English, write English, understand English. No, most of them will not be speaking English, will not have English staff, sales staff in order to get your orders, in order to negotiate with you. So whenever I handed in these kind of suppliers to my clients, they were quite disappointed after a few days, like, hey, the supplier doesn't answer me. I sent him a WhatsApp, I sent him an email, I sent him a WeChat text message. He's not like answering. And after a few days, we just end up like either handing them a Alibaba supplier who is well trained in taking good care of like international clients and speaking English or even Spanish, Arabic, etc., or handling the whole situation and us being like the third party that can interfere and, you know, a deal as just an intermediary for them, speaking in Spanish, Chinese, translating and placing the order, having the negotiation, etc. Because, you know, usually suppliers somehow deal in their Chinese way, like WeChat. It's very uncommon, I mean, that they will be sending mails and such. Usually they just deal with the WeChat or the QQ. They are just sending and receiving text by their sales staff is there. The quotations are there. You can just directly have a conversation there compared to the other ones that do have kind of a system for you to... It looks more formal. So for many of my clients that I have somehow found this kind of suppliers, at first sight, they thought it was a very good deal. Like, wow, these suppliers are having a very big catalog of different model variation of options where, I mean, it's quite not happening for some suppliers over here where they have a more limited catalog of product options. So they thought, first of all, they have great variety of models or options. And second, the price is just, wow, it's just, I don't know how much percentage less than here the other ones. So yeah, it looks like a great deal. I'm just gonna take the China supplier. We advise them. We will be like, hey, we found out this supplier, but you have to take the responsibility that he might not be speaking English, And that the second most important one is that that one over there will usually do not have the export license. So these guys that are not well established usually in like these international platforms are not wanting to deal with exports. So they will not have the license to export. So in that regard, you will have to get a logistics agent that will handle your merchandise, your products, and be shipping them from China to your country. So a little bit, it's a bit of a hassle. You will understand why. Of course, it's cheaper, but so yeah, maybe 70% of the clients have came back to us and just complain about the supplier not answering, the supplier not taking care of them, not really caring for their orders, like what is happening. And we will be like, either we switch you and like handing you a Alibaba supplier that you can totally be in contact with English, or you want us to handle the situation. In any case, the costs of the good deal already increase by either our commission or the price of the Alibaba supplier. And why is it that sometimes it's like, it seems that these prices over here for the Alibaba suppliers are a little bit higher? It has all to do with infrastructure. If you are a manufacturer and you want to go globally, you want to go international, then you have to hire staff that does speak English, which will cost you more than the workers that are just like sewing or whatever doing. Of course, one person that does speak English is more costly. You have to train them to sell internationally. You have to go and invest to be present in like international expos or national ones, just like the Canton Fair and other fairs that are happening around China all year long regarding your specific industry. So in order for clients to find you, you have to make that investment, right? So of course, this is again cost for the product. And there are some trading companies which will be just purchasing directly from the China national supplier and reselling that product to international clients. They will be in charge of going to expositions, placing themselves out there in the world for the clients to like pay attention to them and start recognizing like the brand. Usually that happens. They brand a product or they brand product, but the China supplier is just different. And it can get to the point that whenever you are a client and finding these kind of suppliers, you will be like, hey, I want to take a look at your company. I want to visit your factory in China. They already have this taken care of. They will have their seat or they will have like their like office room in the factories where they work with. And usually whenever you arrive, it looks like it's a factory and it looks like everything's okay. At this moment, you might be wondering how can that happen if the product or the new company is one name and the one in China it's another. Well, there are many different cases and situations. If you want to name some down below, if that has been your case, because it has happened to me a few times that me and one client, let's say, ended up visiting a supplier in China, but it was very obvious after I learned about all this that one guy was not like was not being part of the company. It was just a commissioner who works with different companies and is not the supplier staff, but he works on his own. And whenever you ask him to pay a visit to the factory, he will be very flattered and glad that you can go, and he will have his office and name cards and everything just laying there. So for you to not notice, this is not the factory. Of course it's the factory. He's just a salesman over there, but he's also a salesman for other, let's say 20, 30 factories around. So yeah, this gets to happen. And in that case, the factory does not have to handle and hassle all that sales procedures, like English people staff, expositions, export license, some certificates abroad, etc. I hope that you guys are understanding my meaning. I'm not sure whether my English is not perfect to say what I want to say, but hopefully you get it. So at the end of the day, there can be amazing suppliers in Alibaba as well as amazing suppliers here, like just supplying the national internal market in China, mainland China. That are also great choice, but I will strongly advise you that if you will go for these ones over here, you will be better off if there is someone taking care of your order. In any case there is a mistake because of the miscommunication, or in any case, like, you know, it's just better because there will be like a curve, how to say, learning curve to be working with them if you are not used to work with Chinese. Or it can be that it's a learning curve for them to be working with you since they are not used to work with your country or with your requirements or with whatever is that you are having them to do, and they are quite unaware of. In that case, you can lower the risk of any mistake, which can be very costly. So therefore, we have our services. Be welcome to become our clients if you are in need of like searching for this kind of suppliers, which are also great choices in China and are not very easy to find, because you will always rely mostly, of course, in these platforms like Alibaba or Made in China or whatever, and these ones over here are just like maybe being published or exposed in like the China internet, where we can where we do have tools to find them. Then you will need someone to find them. And they do also have great clients, like either national market clients, like China big brands, or international. And usually even they don't sell them directly to those brands. Let's say, for example, I don't know, Nike or Adidas. They're still a client somehow, right? Anyways, or maybe they're selling directly, because usually big brands will go to the extent of like finding this kind of valuable manufacturers in China where they can have bigger profit. A little bit of more profit is just big profits for them, because they are talking about like big volumes, right? So yeah, main differences in this regard will be like this over here, either suppliers or trading companies or commissioners, whatever, they are exposing themselves in this platform in order to reach clients, in order for clients to see them. They are also investing in training the staff to be like interacting with international clients, speaking English or other languages, going to expositions, exhibitions, etc., right? Having the license to export, having all the like formalities in order to be able to handle almost the whole process, compared to these ones over here that many of them do not want to handle anything regarding anything that has to do beyond China, and just want to sell directly to whoever wants to buy in China, and they're just gonna deal with their business of manufacturing. That's it. Did you learn something from this video, or you knew this before? Let me know in the comment section if it was somehow helpful, and stay tuned because I am coming with a series of videos regarding Mexico, China, USA. Where is it that we can profit from this situation nowadays that is quite hot and trending topic? I believe Mexico has a very huge position, a very huge card to play, and if we get our advantage, it's now the opportunity. So in any case that you are wanting to work with China, either finding suppliers, verifying them if you have one, shipping goods if you have many, just let me know. I'm gonna leave you my contact info in the description box, and welcome to like this video and support me too in the links down below. Kisses to the world, and
拜拜，再见，谢谢你们，拜拜。